Greetings and welcome to our exploration of the timeless principles that define the communication style of high-value guys. We frequently envision people who are self-assured, speak with purpose, and treat everyone with respect. But what truly distinguishes them in conversations, especially with women, is their depth of emotional control and unwavering dedication to their values. In this video, we'll explore the Stoic-inspired approach to dialogue. In this video, we'll cover 5 powerful lessons that demonstrate how high-value men talk to women in a genuine, respectful, and impactful way. Stoicism is a philosophy that some of history's greatest leaders, including Marcus Aurelius and Serbia, practiced. It teaches us that how we carry ourselves, our words, our presence, and our respect for others can create meaningful connections without compromising who we are. By embracing these lessons, anyone can learn how to communicate with the kind of authenticity and confidence that naturally draws others in. These lessons will help you become a better conversationalist and a more grounded person. So let's get started and discover what makes a high-value man. These lessons aren't about tricks or manipulating emotions. Rather, they're about harnessing timeless wisdom that enables you to be present, intentional, and true to yourself. Whether your goal is to boost your confidence, strengthen your relationships, or simply communicate more effectively, these lessons will help you become a more grounded person. Really stand out. Lesson 1. Confidence via ability. In this section, we'll talk about how guys who value themselves develop internal confidence derived from Stoicism, as opposed to relying on outside validation. A man of integrity understands that genuine confidence comes from being rooted in his principles and beliefs, rather than from trying to impress or win others over. When speaking, a man who possesses this inner steadiness speaks confidently, avoids over-elaboration or exaggeration, and is at ease with quiet and pace. Point out how Stoics like Marcus Aurelius instilled the value of self-control and the need to concentrate on one's own power in this situation. Practical instances of confidence stemming from clarity and control over one's emotions, rather than outside influences, include accepting criticism and praise with grace, and moving on without allowing it to impact one's sense of self-worth. Active listening as a sign of respect in Lesson 2. The second section will examine how high-value men value listening over speaking, which is consistent with the Stoic practice of valuing observation and understanding. This approach demonstrates genuine interest and respect, because listening enables one to fully understand others before expressing one's own viewpoint. Epictetus, who promoted understanding before responding, will highlight how listening fosters trust and a sense of security. An elevated value. Without trying to interrupt with his own ideas right away, the man is totally engaged in the conversation, giving the woman a sense of being heard. One of the useful suggestions will be to keep eye contact. Asking insightful follow-up questions and nodding in agreement demonstrate his interest in and appreciation for what she has to say. Lesson 3. Speaking with focus and accuracy. In this lesson, we will examine the technique of speaking with intention, which is based on Stoicism. High-value males. They choose their words carefully in order to bring worth or meaning to the encounter. This isn't about being too serious. Rather, it's about valuing both of their time by providing insights that are real, relevant, and sincere. They steer clear of filler talk and superfluous words. Examples of high-value men avoiding gossip, boasting, and talking about shallow subjects are provided in this section. Instead, they strive for depth and clarity that are consistent with Stoic qualities like honesty and truthfulness. Additionally, we'll talk about doable strategies to make sure his remarks reflect his ideals, urging him to steer clear of forced flattery and meaningless praise in favor of sincere observations or discoveries. Lesson 4. Respect for oneself and boundaries are important. A man who understands and has the guts to uphold his own boundaries communicates the way that Stoic teachings urge people to uphold their morals in the face of social pressures or other expectations will be discussed in this section. This moral fortitude comes instinctively. Garner is respected because he values himself and won't lower his standards to gain acceptance. utilizing the Stoic concepts of self-mastery and autonomy. This lesson will demonstrate how high-value men respectfully but assertively communicate their needs and boundaries. For example, if a conversation veers into awkward or disrespectful territory, a high-value man has no problem gently rerouting it or apologizing if necessary. It will also include examples of how he can effectively communicate his boundaries, fostering respect, and drawing in people who value his strong sense of self. 5. Emotional regulation and serenity. We'll talk about the significance of emotional poise in the last part, which is essential to both Stoicism and high values. Instead of letting feelings like rage, jealousy, or frustration control his interactions, instead, a high-value guy approaches discussions with composure and steadiness. This emotional control does not imply that he is emotionless. Rather, it indicates that he is able to manage his emotions sensibly and use them constructively, drawing on the Stoic concept of apatha, or freedom from damaging emotions. We'll examine how high-value guys remain composed under pressure and during emotional interactions. Practical tips will include mindfulness techniques to remain calm, even if the other person becomes agitated, and strategies to avoid arguments by shifting focus to understanding rather than reacting. This calm presence creates a positive atmosphere and makes him someone others are naturally drawn to, as he embodies stability and understanding. Conclusion as we wrap up. It's clear that being a high-value man isn't just about charisma or clever words. It's about character, composure, and commitment to one's values. When we apply the wisdom of Stoicism to our interactions, we create deeper, more authentic connections that don't rely on pretense or charm alone. High-value men are respected, not because they try to impress, but because they approach every conversation with presence, respect, and integrity by embodying these Stoic, INSPIRED principles. You can transform the way you interact with women and everyone around you. Listening intently, speaking with purpose, respecting boundaries, and maintaining emotional balance are traits that don't just make others respect you, they make you respect yourself. And that inner respect, grounded in self-mastery and purpose, is what others truly recognize as high value. Thank you for joining us on this journey into Stoicism and high-value communication. Keep in mind that every discussion is a chance to show who you are and what you stand for. If you find this content helpful, think about subscribing for additional insights on personal development and Stoicism. Learns to connect authentically, talk clearly, and live with purpose. The most important lesson here is to emphasize teamwork. One-sided relationships are not genuine partnerships, since a strong relationship is based on the contributions of both sides. Identify the warning flags early on and decide to devote your time to rewarding reciprocal relationships. If you notice that she is not putting forth much effort, it's a hint that her priorities may be found elsewhere in these situations. Instead of arguing or pleading for attention, a Stoic man values his time and moves on. The goal is to create relationships that bring mutual joy and growth, not ones where you feel depleted or undervalued all the time. Instead of justifying her behavior, or thinking that things will change with more work on your part, take a step back and watch her actions rather than her words. A woman who values you will naturally try to be a part of your life without you having to persuade her. In this situation, the Stoic practice of detachment becomes essential because by letting go of expectations and concentrating on your own actions, you maintain control over your emotional health. Keep in mind that effort and respect are the cornerstones of any healthy relationship. If they are absent, it's a red flag to reevaluate your level of engagement. We just looked at 5 actions that make it obvious that a woman doesn't value you. Identifying these indicators is about obtaining clarity and knowledge, not about placing blame or harboring animosity. Understanding these patterns helps you safeguard your emotional health and make sure that you only devote your time and energy to meaningful and respectful relationships. Stoicism teaches us to observe, reflect, and make decisions based on what is consistent with our core values. When you notice these behaviors in a relationship, it's a sign to reevaluate and possibly refocus your energies towards something more fulfilling. A Stoic man prioritizes himself not out of ego, but rather from a profound awareness that his time and energy are finite resources that should be used wisely. Keep in mind that it's not about altering or demanding respect from others. Rather, it's about realizing your own value and making the decision to leave circumstances that do not advance your happiness and personal development. You have the ability to choose the types of relationships you wish to foster. We appreciate you seeing, and if this video spoke to you, please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more posts on Stoic self-improvement and ISM. Remain resilient, loyal, and stoic at all times.